Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about debt collections. We're going to talk about how to respond to debt collectors, because there's still a lot of people that are kind of confused about what they need to do. They kind of know what they want to do, but they're kind of like mixed up. It's like a puzzle thrown on the floor. They're doing it the wrong way. They're responding to debt collectors the wrong way. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you step by step what to watch out for, and then how to respond to debt collection letters. Because when you get that letter, that's when everything starts rolling. And if you don't respond to that letter right, you're going to be setting yourself up, even if you don't owe the debt. And I'm going to show you with proof with what I'm going to read on this one here. Let me get my glasses real quick. Some of you were asking, what is this information here? And I always talk about a paradigm shift. That's where you have if you want to break through, you have to have a paradigm shift. That's where you say, okay, I might be afraid, I might not know exactly how to do something, but I'm going to just learn as much as I can about it, and I'm just going to move forward without knowing if it's going to work or not. That's how you grow. You have to always have consistency, focus, belief, and persistence to be able to make it in anything in life. Don't waste your thoughts on any bad things. Don't waste your thoughts on your health. Don't waste your thoughts on what other people think of you. And then watch out for false solutions. And also, you must believe in yourself. You do not need other people to believe in you. When you believe in yourself deep down inside, other people are attracted to you, and they'll automatically believe in you. So what we're going to talk about right now when it comes to debt collections is the who, what, when, and how. And what I mean by that is right here in my hand I have a debt collection letter, and the first thing that I tell people to pay attention to, and before I get to that, I wanted to let me read this off. I almost forgot. Sorry about that. I might have mentioned this in an earlier video, but they are really pressing hard on selling this debt collection inventory. Mixed credit cards, $10.7 million. That they want to sell. Charge-off date was 2015. So this is going to be under the statute of limitations for most states. Some states, depending on the state you live in, if you get one from them, it could be past statute of limitations. This other debt, 1.2 million, charged off 2011, past statute of limitations for sure. This other debt here, 1.2 million. It's a different one, same amount, but a different one. Charge-off date 2012. So when this is what I'm going to talk about in this video, is how to deal with debt collections that you might get from debt collectors that buy debt, especially this expired debt. That is considered mostly old expired debt that they worked it, couldn't collect any money. Now they're trying to resell it to somebody else. So now, who? The who stands for who is coming after you for the money. You need to understand the relationships on the who. Who could be, is it a debt collection company that was assigned a debt by another debt collector? Is it the original creditor who hired a debt collection company to go after you for the debt? Or is it the debt collector themselves that purchased the debt and they are coming after you for the debt? So you must identify who is coming after you, because that's what's going to start the next process that you need to start going through when you do the validation. Now, the what? What are they coming after you for? Is it an old credit card? It's always stated in there. It's going to be stated in the first paragraph. Some of the times, and I'm going to kind of draw out here, usually they're going to have the company info here. They're going to usually have the creditor or the debt collection company that's coming after you, and the original creditor for what that debt was for. If it was purchased by another debt collector, this is what it would look like. They would have the debt collector who purchased it. They would have the debt collector who's going after the debt, who's contacting you for the debt. And then they would have right here the original creditor for what that debt is for. And they'll have the account number and all of the information that they have. Some of the time they don't have all of the information. They might just say the account ending in this, and they'll say from this original creditor. So that is the what. What are they coming after you for? That specific debt collection. Now, when? In every debt collection letter, this is where a lot of people give away their power. And in my videos, I talk about don't give away your power, because you can get out of a debt collection if you just exert the power that you have right on the paper. They tell you the power that you have, but the way that they use the English language, the way that they word it, people don't understand that it's a power statement in your favor. What they do is they just read it and they get emotional. And that's why debt collection letters are actually formed a certain way. They form it in the form of a bill, even though this is not an actual bill. It's telling you, you got to read the whole thing. You got to go through the whole thing. But most people stop right here. They stop right there. They might go to the next paragraph. And that's why when they always say in the next paragraph, it's still a setup. The next paragraph is still always a setup for making you think that no matter what, you have to pay one of these people that's listed above, really the debt collectors that's coming after you. But when you go down to the bottom line, and it is required by law that they capitalize all of the letters. But you want to know the crazy thing about it? Crazy thing about it is that when they capitalize all letters, most people do one of two things. They'll pay full attention to them, or they won't pay full attention to them. Because in contracts, if you look up one of your contracts, maybe an auto contract or something that you sign, and they put it in all caps, it is noted. It is, if you could look it up online, you could look everywhere, when you put stuff in all caps, unless it comes from someone that you know, most people will barely read it, or they'll get over anxious and read it, and they will not comprehend exactly what it means. They will read it, but they will be emotional and they will not comprehend. That's why when someone types on social media right now and they use all caps, people, it raises your awareness, but it raises it in a different way, because it's like someone shouting at you. And when some people shout at you, you get emotional and you don't want to really, you don't pay too much attention to them. You think about your next move when someone is shouting at you. So that's crazy. That's how they use mental things on us when they're trying to get information to you, to try to shut you down, to make you think that you have no power. So all of the wording is capitalized in here. But in that when statement, it's telling you that you have a time frame, 30 days to respond to that debt collection letter. So right in here, it has that statement, and it's all caps. And it's telling you when you must respond, and it's going to be 30 days from the time that you receive the notice. If you respond within that period of time with anything, you're going to delay the process when you respond, because it's going to make them have to go and contact that original creditor to get the documentation that you're requesting, that to say, hey, I don't remember. You can say, I don't even remember it being this amount. I don't remember dealing with this company. I don't remember dealing with you. Tell me the relationship. All of that. You can watch my other videos about how to validate debt. I'm just going to brush over it a little bit right now. But keep in mind, this is another spot of power that's in your hands that you have to watch out. If you don't read it and understand it, you're giving away your power. Now, next thing is how to respond. It is very important that you respond the right way. Do not call the debt collector about this debt. You must respond in writing. Pay attention. It says it in here. Respond in writing, and you should send that certified mail so you can prove that you got it in within the 30 days. That you got it in with 30 days. Let me tell you a little secret about debt collectors. Debt collectors don't want to make it hard to go after money. They want to go after the easy people to collect from. So whenever someone doesn't respond to this first 30-day letter, they put you into another batch. And when they get that, then they're going to throw it on your credit reports because you didn't respond. And it tells you if you don't respond in that 30 days that the firm assumes that the debt is valid. You're giving them an affirmation that it's valid. I know that that's backwards. You might be thinking, if you send me this letter and I don't respond to you, how do I owe you the money? The law states, and it's right here, it says if you don't respond to this letter, the firm will assume that the debt is valid. And that gives them, by rights of the law, Fair Debt Collection Act, to put it on your credit reports and start the ball rolling on other collection activities. So what the debt collectors are going to do is they're going to put you into another file. The people that respond, you go into another file where they may not even pursue you. They may send it back, or they may say, we don't want to go after this one. Everyone that gets information put on the credit reports, they're going to start the ball rolling on starting to look at your income, trying to figure out where you work. All of that stuff is on your credit reports. They pay memberships to the credit bureaus to be able to know what all of us do. So they're going to look and get that information. So how? You must respond in writing. You must respond within 30 days. You must respond, and you need to send that by certified mail. Now, let's go to the do not do this. Do not do this. I just said don't respond by making a call. And that's where a lot of people slip up. Because what they'll do is they'll discuss their financial information. I don't care what they put in that letter. And I've seen some debt collection letters where they try to sneak that in and say, tell us your financial situation. Tell us how you're going to pay that. This letter has nothing to do with that right now. This letter is just a debt validation letter. They actually have no right to even ask you any of your personal information at that point. If you look at their letter, it says that if you don't respond within 30 days, we'll assume that the debt is valid. So they cannot even ask you on that letter anything about your financial situation because they don't even know if the debt is valid. So watch out for that. Don't respond to any letters that talk about your finances, or don't respond about your finances. I don't care what they put in there. Don't respond about your finances. Don't respond about your job. Don't respond about how you're going to pay something. That's set up. That's a way that they set it up. Don't discuss making any small payments also. What they usually do is a trick. It's a trick. Get you on the phone. Hey, you owe this bill. We don't want to garnish your wages. If they're just a deep and dirty debt collector, we don't want to put a warrant out for your arrest, even though they can't do that, but they scare people with that because people don't know the laws. And then they get a person to make a small payment and they start the whole ball rolling, even if because that debt was usually past statute of limitations. But if you acknowledge the debt in any form or fashion by saying, hey, I'm discussing my finances, I'm discussing a small payment, I'm going to make a small payment, you can actually reauthorize the debt and start the whole ball rolling. You can actually sign for a debt, make a new contract on a debt that you don't even owe by doing that. So don't do that. Don't do it. All right, so now we're going to end the video here. So if you need help, post your comments below. I do my best to answer them. I have thousands of clients that probably have situations that match yours. So I'll just, dig into our files and look at their situation and then give you an answer, or I'll give you an answer off of my memory. I invite you to subscribe to my channel. It's going to be different this time. It's not, if you've had credit repair issues for years, it's not going to be the same watching my videos, because I'm going to tell you how to deal with them. We confront debt collections. We don't run from them. Share it. Again, comment. If you need your credit reports and scores, and that's a big part of what I talk about in my videos, is one of the first things that you should do when you get a debt collection letter is go to your credit reports, and you need to get one from a paid monitoring service, and I have a link below here. Go to the website www.your3scores.com. Go to that site, the link is below, because that's going to give you ammunition on how you need to start this whole process. Get your credit reports. Get them from a paid service, because you need all of the data. The free ones don't give you all of the data. So go to, and my website link is below here. So now let's talk about some motivation. Let's talk about the mindset. Let's talk about thinking. In the last video that I had, I think it was Tuesday, I talked about how when you're trying to resolve your credit repair issues, when you're trying to resolve financial issues, when you're trying to change something in your life, is that you must focus on the goal. You must have a picture of your mind of the outcome of that goal. It's not good enough to even say it. You must picture yourself in that. You must become that person. Because when you become that person, everything that you do seems to align to help you become that person. That's why I talk about when you have problems with debt collectors, the first thing that you should do is, and I know I said first thing about this, but let me even take it a step back on the first thing. Before we even get to this, because I get a lot of letters from people, and people talk about, I'm scared, I don't know what to do, my job, I don't want to get in trouble, or my husband is, situation, medical, all of this stuff is going on in their mind, and they haven't even got to the part about the debt yet, because they're worried about the debt. They're letting something from the outside control them on the inside. So what I tell people to do, the first thing, or we could say number 1A, and the other stuff is number 1B, what I talked about with responding to the debt collection letter, is to get control of yourself, your mind, your thoughts. Calm down. Don't worry. I know that that's hard to do. One of my business associates, now I've helped him with probably $500,000 in debt, $500,000. He has a lot of money, but he got, buying some locations that didn't work out, and he ended up in debt, and we had to help him out. But so one of the things that I had figured out with him, but I had figured it out on myself years ago, but one of the techniques that I gave him to do, and this works really well, and some of you already maybe do this in your life, but this is what I told him to do, is number one, I said, calm down, control yourself, don't let this affect your day-to-day activities, calm down. And then we just did what I call is worst case scenario. Let's just go ahead and jump to it. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Let's just throw that on the table. That's the worst. And then let's just put that aside. So now let's concentrate on the middle. The middle is, what are we going to do? And then I told him, let's focus on the goals. Let's focus on what you want your life to be. That was 8 years ago that we went through that. Over the year, it was taking years to resolve it. He has, I think, 6 new locations. So you're talking about someone that has a burden of $500,000 in debt over them. Yes, they have money, but I'm telling you, when people are coming after you, it was just bigger debt collectors coming after him, wanting to take assets, wanting to take all types of stuff, cars, buildings, everything. We did the worst case. We focused on the middle, which was going to be the potential solutions. And then we focused on the goal, the overall goal. I told him, you need to continue thinking of yourself as the big businessman that you are. Continue your day-to-day activities and picture yourself with that. All this other stuff will work its way out. We don't know how it's going to work out. We just know what we're going to do to get those. We're going to draw up different options to get these accomplished. And some of them may work, some of them may not work. But that's what we do. But the focus is right here. And like I said, he's got multiple new locations now, making a ton of more money. And and also we are still resolving some of that debt, still resolving some of it. So, but just think, if he would have just kept thinking about, letting them control his life, letting that debt collection that's over him control every aspect of his life. And there were times that he had called my office and he was very emotional, very emotional. And I just reminded him again of this. And it was just like it was something that he just needed. He just needed those words. And that's what we also do with my company. Sometimes you just need those words. Sometimes you need to just plop on my YouTube video about debt collections and watch it all over again so you can calm yourself down, so you'll be able to move forward. There is absolutely nothing in our lives that is bad that happens forever unless you focus on it. That's the difference. Is if you focus on it, you get what you focus on. If you focus on positive, you focus on your goals, you focus on getting things done on a day-to-day basis, continue working, good things come to you. And it may work out in a way that you never expected. And if you go to my website, I have an image of something that happened for $32,000 worth of credit card debt for this person that I'm talking about. 32, I think it was 32. 32 and some change, or somewhere around there. It's been a while. Look at that number. $32,000. But when you go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com, you'll see the document from the actual company, credit card debt, and you'll see the amount, so you know that I'm telling the truth. Forgiven. With one of the strategies that I used, they forgave 100% of that credit card debt. 100%. So that's what I'm saying. You never know what's going to happen, the good that's going to happen. But if you focus here, and you know this deep down inside, people that are positive thinkers have positive things happen to them. Not to say something bad doesn't happen also, but more good things happen. People who are negative, people who are scared, afraid, worrying, thinking about all the bad things that's going to happen, they bring bad things to them. They attract bad things. They attract more worries. They continue to worry. When they worry, they start to have bad health. Remember what I said? Worrying about bad things, health. Even if you're unhealthy right now, you shouldn't worry about your health. You should focus on good health. Because then your body, you tell your body what to do. Then your body will follow what the mind says. The mind is outside, the brain is here. and this is the body that follows. The mind is universal. You tell your brain, which is the computer, you put it in there, repetition, 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 the body will follow. The body will do what it is told. If you let outside information come in, the body will do what's called a fear reaction. A fear reaction, and then it'll run up to the brain, repeat the fear reaction, and go to the mind where you think you don't have control of everything in your life. That's why people think they don't control their own lives, because they've let that come in the reverse. All you have to do is do it the right way, from the mind to the brain to the body, and you have to do it over and over and over and over again. And if you ask me how many times you got to do it forever, until it just becomes something that you don't never even have to think about. All right, this is Steve Williams. I really appreciate your time. Visit my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. I have other videos here on YouTube that talk about debt collections. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to www.your3scores.com, and the links are below this video. You have a great day. Thank you.